Hi there, welcome back to
a bit of a trip review.
We're sat at Wilderness Lodge. It's our last morning and we thought we would do the review of the trip here, didn't we?
Yeah, in the brilliant sunshine looking over is
Bay Lake?
It's Bay Lake, isn't it? Why do I think it's Seven Seas?
That's the next one.
That's the next one, yeah, over Bay Lake. So
we've been away 2.5 weeks, 6 different accommodations, and we thought we would just give you, I like doing a review at the end, the good and the bad, chatting about things, reviewing things.
Yeah, a bit of our chatty kind of a bit of a live, not live kind of thing. You know we like those kind of things. There's no order to this. So we'll try and obviously cover things that we liked, maybe things that maybe weren't as great.
Yeah.
And just go from there, sort of highs, lows.
Do you want to start with a high or a low?
High, I absolutely love staying at St. Augustine. Augustine.
Yeah.
That was amazing and definitely something we would do again. We've never stayed kind of
we just went
twice, have we?
No, we've never had a beach holiday together, but we literally, previously we went in 2014 and we just literally went for a long afternoon, didn't we?
Yeah, and we kind of just did the town, didn't we?
Yeah.
And did the typically kind of like go in, look around the castle and things like that, wasn't it? So
I would, and I think you agree with this, would actually choose to stay there now over Anna Maria Island.
Yeah, I got that feeling quite early on. Although we've not stayed at Anna Maria Island, I think St. Augustine has, should we say, a better selection.
More to offer.
Yeah, so for example,
choices.
if you just want to keep your meals cheap, you have got your cheap and cheerful kind of, you've got your McDonald's, your chains and things like that.
About 15 minutes from where we were staying.
Yeah, not saying you have to, and I think next time we'd really like to try some of the other food places and
we were
coffee
limited
places.
because we were staying with my dad and his wife. So
that was the priority, wasn't it?
We were going places where they wanted to go.
Did go for a lovely meal there. You actually probably said that was your favourite, didn't you?
Favourite meal of the trip was St. Augustine on the river. It was beautiful. About half an hour. Fish tacos were amazing, so fresh. Mahi, loved them. Best meal of the trip.
My fried green tomatoes are lovely there.
Yeah. Your best meal of the trip? If we're doing best meals?
It has to be Texas Roadhouse.
It's always Texas Roadhouse for you, isn't it?
We've kind of gone to food a bit now, haven't we?
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Let's just continue.
Let's continue with food. I actually say Storybook was amazing.
Storybook. That's Artist Point here at Wilderness Lodge.
We've had a few questions about this. I didn't really know much about it going into it, so it was a nice surprise. I knew it was a character dining, but didn't know anything more about that.
Watch your hands on the tail. I'm just worried about that
okay.
camera. You're not, sorry.
And so, but it was great. I mean, sometimes character meals, it's fair to say the food is okay.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily, I would say, get your money's worth, or it's just a bit.
Service can be just
a bit funny,
blah.
But everything, service was amazing, food was amazing, character meats were amazing.
What I liked about the service, it had personality.
Yes.
It was amazing service, but Sean, our server, just was funny. He had character, he was just brilliant, really played along with everything, like going along with the evil queen. And
it makes a difference.
It was
as
funny,
well.
But to an adult humour, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was really good, the food was amazing.
I think lows for us food-wise were definitely the loaded fries at the smokehouse.
Oh, yeah.
We won't talk about that too much because I know some people have had them before or eaten there before and it's been fine.
It's a matter of taste, isn't it?
It really is.
We love the buffalo chicken cheese grilled sandwich at Hollywood Studios, whereas somebody messaged me and said that she couldn't taste the chicken, it was really salty, too cheesy, whereas for us
it was perfect.
Nothing could be too cheesy enough, to be honest. But I imagine sometimes if somebody maybe isn't used to stronger cheese, or also some people don't salt their food at all.
They don't season
whereas
at all,
I do season. I don't add salt to vegetables, but the rest of my cooking I do. So it's always going to be a matter of taste, isn't it? We struggle with the American barbecue flavour, we've realised.
Yeah, I love barbecue, but what I mean by barbecue is I think of meat grilled, whereas I think everything here is so saucy, and I love sauces. I love barbecue sauce.
Do.
I love things like that, but it was just too rich for us. But that was the. I think
it's just down to a matter of taste.
That was the only thing. I mean, we
grabbed
the
mac and cheese on it was really nice.
It was, and the onion rings were lovely as well.
Yeah, just the barbecue
just
sauce
too seasoned as well. The fries were just a bit too much as well.
Really salty.
I think other quick serves I loved are one of our favourites across property, and you can get it in a few places, is the tuna sandwich.
Yeah.
We grabbed it here our first night, didn't we? When we were at
that today, actually.
that was really nice, wasn't it? So Yeah, so much tuna in it, and it's nice proper bread as well. Granary bread. So thoroughly enjoyed that. Do you think there's much to talk in regards to? Oh yeah, in regards to food, we had a couple of. We had three, didn't we?
What's
that? Was it 3 charcuterie boards or 2?
2, I think. Riverside and here. Yeah.
Yeah, Riverside. Went to go and see Yeehaw Bob.
Didn't know Americans knew how to do decent cheese.
Yeah, just thought it was all just very either.
I expect like hamburger cheese.
Or kind of not very
bland.
Yeah, they're not very strong because their cheddar over here generally, when we bought it from supermarkets, we've struggled to get, shall we say, decent cheese.
Yeah.
But no, the charcuterie boards we had. One whilst watching Yeehaw Bob with a couple of beers.
That was a highlight. We loved that evening.
But that was great. I mean, also the cost though, wasn't it? It kept it. It was $18 between the two of us. It was just, we loved it.
A couple of beers.
Yeah, and we had one here as well, didn't we? At Guy's Point.
It was really good as well.
And I'm just trying to think what else. Was anything else food-wise that was a real high? My jalapeno poppers. They're a definite still top of my list. And I think
we never got to try them in Walmart in the end.
No, we didn't. We went into Walmart and it was so busy. We came out. We haven't been back again. But going back, your favourite snack has to be
chocolate banana, frozen chocolate banana. We didn't have our Sleepy Hollow Waffles.
No, we didn't.
No,
but
it's been a different trip. It's felt really different, hasn't it?
But sometimes it's quite nice. I know people who haven't been. I think we've mentioned this a few times in the vlogs, especially when we've been in the parks. If it's your first trip, I can understand needing to be going through and doing everything. But we felt this trip, we kind of didn't want to necessarily just do things because we were here. If that makes sense.
For the sake of doing them, you mean?
Yeah, because when we come back next time, it could be we do something else. Like there's certain areas we didn't really go onto Boardwalk.
No.
Did we? So
there's loads of rides we haven't done. No, we were only in Hollywood Studios for about 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, whereas last trip, Boardwalk and Beach Club, all that area.
We lived there.
Really, but then we were staying there. Were we staying there?
Riviera.
Riviera we stayed, yeah.
Mum was at Swan and Dolphin, Sarah Jane was at the Caribbean.
And our previous trip we were on Boardwalk, weren't we? So we'd had a lot of time around there, so it was nice being somewhere else. Yeah. Which moves us on to actually accommodation.
Yeah.
Started off in the Rosen Inn on, is it Lake Buena Vista?
Yes.
Lake Buena Vista, 2 nights there.
Loved the location.
Loved the location.
Good.
Loved the price.
Yeah.
Can't fault it at that.
A night.
The only thing I would say is I think there are certain things, it was clean, but I felt I needed to wear my shoes inside. It's almost like if they could replace the carpet, it would be great.
Just felt like we were going to get grubby feet or grubby socks.
Yeah, that's the only downside. The room, I can't fault. There's plenty of storage room, wasn't there? That wardrobe,
really
the drawers.
Beds were comfy.
Probably better than Disney in some of the cases, isn't it? Probably maybe better than what we've got here, actually, storage-wise. Space under the bed. Yeah. So can't fault to that price. Location was perfect.
Loved the location of Lake Buena Vista.
Yeah, location was really, really good. Loved our location. Well, loved the location and the resort at St. Augustine. Where is it we stayed?
That was the most comfortable bed. The Guy Harvey Resort.
Yeah, Guy Harvey Resort. The bed was the most comfortable.
Really light and airy resort, wasn't it?
It was.
I really liked it.
Your dad and Janet kind of played it down, didn't they? Saying it was really kind of basic.
Just for old people.
For old people.
I think it's because they go off season, so it is full of older people. But I bet go sort of like next week when spring break starts, it's probably a completely different clientele. Yeah,
see, I can imagine this time of year is when a lot of the, should we say, maybe retired people do travel, don't they? They go away for winter.
Yeah.
So to somewhere warm, but loved that location.
We'd definitely go back to that hotel.
Right on the beach, and we spoke about this last night, that first morning waking up there, go and see the sunrise, and then walk in to go and get coffee, walking about half a mile, 3/4 a mile down the beach, grabbing a coffee, and the best coffee we've had this trip in Kookaburra.
Ever?
Probably ever, actually.
Yeah. That's really
Again,
good.
Fantastic service, real kind of feel. And
couldn't get a t-shirt, could you?
Couldn't. I might have to buy one online.
You're gonna have it delivered to Dad.
Yeah. So.
Talking of, shall I go on to Dad, or do you want to carry on with the accommodation? Actually, may as well continue on with the accommodation.
Yeah, accommodation. So from then after St. Augustine, we moved
All Stars
to Disney.
The reason why we've accommodation hopped so much, resort hopped, was because we wanted to come and stay with my dad while he was on holiday, but we couldn't get miles flights for the same time, so that's why we booked Rosen Inn just cheaply for 2 nights. Then we stayed with Dad. Then we wanted to use our DVC points, but we couldn't. With DVC, you just have to have what's available. So we had a 7-night block here at Wilderness, Copper Creek, and then we managed to get 3 nights together.
Was it 3 or 4? 3 nights, 4.
3 nights at Saratoga.
Was it 3?
Yeah, and then the 1 night at. Then we couldn't get anything for DVC at all for the first night, so we booked All Stars, didn't we?
Just for people as well that think DVC is just a real easy way to stay on site, it can be a challenge. We literally could not get a room.
There's not a single room available.
Not a single room available for a studio, which is what we want, which is a single room,
which
basically.
is like a hotel room,
So those that think it's like it is easy and it's like hassle-free, that's not the case at all.
And
again, while we split stays. Yeah, and you have to be on the ball with it as well.
And we realised that it's actually quite stressful doing so much resort hopping. It's time consuming. So when we loved All Stars, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was our first time staying at a value resort.
Yes.
And completely exceeded our expectations. Loved it.
You can tell it's obviously very family orientated, which we completely get.
And we liked.
For the price we paid for the night, it was cheaper than going to some of the other hotels in the areas.
I liked the buzz there, though.
The feel there was nice, and I have to also compliment things like, I know we've already talked about food, but the quick serve. The quick serve choice. That first night that we had, you had the chicken, didn't you?
Oh, that was such a good. I forgot about that. Seems ages ago.
The first night.
Braised beef.
Braised beef for a quick serve.
It reminded me of what my German nan used to make. It was the same gravy.
Braised beef meal, I have to say, topped probably a lot of the actual dining. A lot of the ADRs.
So good.
A lot of the ADRs that we've paid probably 4 times as much for.
Yeah, that's true. It was really good.
It was lovely.
Really
I'd actually say it
stuff.
topped the beef at Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that was awful. I didn't.
So I'll stay there, and again, whilst we were there,
we loved the theming, didn't we?
Yeah, we could have gone into the park, but we realised we're here for less than 24 hours.
We actually cancelled our Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, and we stayed wandering around. Not just, obviously, yes, we did vlog it. We did a bit of a resort tour.
Yeah.
But it was nice for us to see.
Just mess around, wasn't it?
But it's also for another time.
Yeah.
If we're looking for 3 or so nights, it's actually not too bad.
I wouldn't hesitate. For 100, I think 148 pounds. 148 when I originally looked, and then when I booked it a couple of weeks later, it was 160.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, really, really good value.
Can't complain on that one.
Lovely renovated room. It was so nice. Then we went on to Saratoga, and this was the problem with resort hopping. Our room then wasn't available. We didn't get it until 5:30.
Should have been available at 4 o'clock. And I know that doesn't sound a great deal.
But we had plans that evening. We did nip to Magic Kingdom, didn't we, in the afternoon? But you know what it's like? You come back, you're hot and sweaty. We just wanted a shower before we went out for the evening, and we ended up not being able to.
We cancelled, didn't we?
Yeah.
So.
Well, we still went out, but we couldn't shower.
It changed our plans. It wasn't the same kind of feeling. Again,
we just wanted to sort of like get showered and dressed up for the evening, didn't we?
Sounds a minor thing, but it does kind of affect your day.
When you're tired and actually you've been travelling, well, not travelling, but you've been sort of like doing bits and pieces, especially when it's hot and sweaty out here.
In regard to Saratoga itself.
Loved the room.
Loved the room.
It's also a renovated room.
I think it had to be probably for Disney property wise this trip the best room we stayed in.
Most comfortable bed goes to St Augustine.
The nicest room overall goes to Saratoga.
We were staying in Congress Park, so we were literally almost like a 3-minute walk to the boats at Disney Springs.
Yeah, so going to Disney Springs was great. We did go to Disney Springs probably more than we have done on any other trip. We went in, we had cocktails,
we're not usually bothered by Disney Springs, are we?
No, I think because we've generally had to drive, unless we've been at Old Key West and got the boat. So that's the other thing we have done before, we've got the boat.
Yeah, that's true. Just go to Blaze.
Saratoga, great. The thing I found with Saratoga, it didn't have that kind of community feel with some resorts, and it's not due to the size because we stayed at Old Key West, and that felt like a real holiday feel.
I wonder because like the pool was out, so there was no activity around there.
Possibly.
But there wasn't also like.
I mean, everyone was friendly. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a.
I don't know. It just didn't have the same kind of buzz as a normal resort. It's pretty, beautiful. I would go back. What lovely to walk around.
One thing, won't talk about the laundry because obviously that was just, I think the machines there just couldn't use them, but we'll skate over that. If you watched our vlogs you would have seen.
Well no, because this is going up this week.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
oh, you haven't seen our vlog, so watch them because you'll see what happens to the laundry.
See the trouble Aid has been at trying to wash his pants.
I'd actually say one of the things we did find in Saratoga was refillable mug stations.
Just one.
There seemed to, but it could be others, but we didn't obviously go around every single building block.
It's massive, the resort.
I mean, I'd expect maybe each building to have maybe at least one.
Yeah.
Because like you think moderate resorts where your sister stayed at Caribbean.
Yeah, they had one
they
by
were
their
dotted
pool.
around.
Yeah.
So I'd expected
expected that,
even by
yeah.
the pool maybe. There wasn't anything.
No.
You had to go to the main reception area where the dining was. So we
Yeah.
didn't really
and
use
bus
it.
stops as well. It can be very time consuming taking the bus. We were on the last one, but then coming back round, we then ended up getting off at an earlier bus stop and walking further, didn't we?
So that was actually something to bear in mind as well when you're staying at the resorts that have multi-stops.
Also, if you're on one of the last ones, it could be it's filled up.
Everyone is filled
It
up by
wasn't
the
in our
time you
case,
go,
but-
so that's just something to bear in mind.
Yeah.
And we did actually, deliberately walk to one that was like second to last to hopefully be.
That was the one by us.
It was the one bus,
Yeah,
but we'd
it's
gone.
Congress Park.
But we'd gone to reception,
Yeah,
hadn't
Springs
we?
is
So,
the last one by the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we did love. I mean, Saratoga itself, the room was lovely, nice and light. I think we love a light room, don't we?
Yeah.
We had a view over Disney Springs. It was lovely. I
We
mean,
need to ramp this up. This is my only battery.
okay, right, let's go. What are we on at the
I
moment?
haven't brought a battery out with me. I
What?
have no idea. I can't see it.
Oh, we still got some, but we're
Let's go on to Wilderness Lodge.
Wilderness
we had
Lodge.
our room before 11 o'clock.
oh, that was perfect.
We were literally driving over, weren't we?
And we thought, oh yes, big thumbs
I
up.
have to say that happened at All Stars as well. We literally drove into the car park.
And it was ready.
Hadn't even parked in a spot, and it flashed up that our room was ready.
Yeah,
That was
so-
at 2 o'clock.
Yes, although Saratoga was
Yeah.
a bit of a
We got lucky
bad
with the other
timing,
two.
the other two were great. The room was lovely. The only thing I would say,
Copper Creek, you're talking now.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's dark or
Yeah,
darker.
we seem to have one of the only rooms that doesn't have.
It's got a bricked up. Well, I say bricked up balcony. It's not like a prison cell, but there's brick that goes up to.
It's quite high, isn't it?
It's almost chest height to
Yeah,
me.
you wouldn't be able to sit and have a coffee there, but it makes the room very, very dark.
If we were to sit and have coffee, the balcony would be above us.
Yeah.
And it is just brick.
And it makes the room very dark, doesn't it? Especially because it is quite a dark resort with the dark wood
Yep.
and things. It makes our room, and it really affects us. We found that in Old Key West last time we were there. Was it 4 nights?
Yeah.
And we had a dark room because of all the trees around. We love the greenery, but it again made the room. We had no natural daylight, and we don't really have that here either.
No, one thing I found in Old Key West, the lights in the room were really bad as well.
That's true,
At least
lights are
here,
better.
the lights are better here. But then you don't feel you should have to put on lights
No, it's
all
not
the
the green
time
thing to do, is it?
just to make the room, especially when it starts to get maybe a little bit dark. You had to put every light on in the room to make it feel like it was almost light and airy.
Yeah. Location-wise, though, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Same floor as the lobby, so literally the entrance is opposite the little, if you know Wilderness Lodge, opposite the little merch store. And then we're literally at the end of the corridor, aren't we? And then we've got a door out here by the pool, and then another door just by the Boulder Ridge pool that we like.
I think location-wise, we always say this about even location-wise of where your actual resort is, but location of your room.
And really close to the bus.
We had, really close to the
We're
bus.
on the level of everything.
Exactly. For example, when we were at Beach Club, wasn't it? We felt like we were really miles from anywhere.
Yeah, DVC.
That's a bit
villas.
different there.
Yeah.
The resort itself.
So our first, we've stayed here 2 nights in 2018.
Before being DVC, but no, the resort is lovely.
Love Geyser Point, really nice bar.
It's I think one of the nice for
That's
me.
where we're sat at the moment,
For me,
facing
one of the
the
nicest
lake.
bars on site. We were actually
agree.
thinking about it. How many other bars are there on site? We've not been to every resort, but how many have a proper outside bar?
That's true, actually, with loads of seating as well.
And we ate here twice, and we actually were sat just behind us, and we could look out over the lake. We saw the electrical parade.
They pipe in the music as well, so it's a really good one to listen to the fireworks. Yeah, the electrical parade
Yeah.
comes round. We were sat here having our charcuterie board, and the electrical parade came by. It's really nice here.
The only thing we did find actually with here as well is that because Fort Wilderness is kind of next door,
It's along the river, along the lake.
Yeah, in regards to transport, just be aware if you're staying here to give yourself time because it seems to change during the day.
And the evening.
The boats, basically,
And the buses.
and the boats. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. But the boats. So, for example, the boats would go to Fort Wilderness first, then Magic Kingdom. not really an issue, but just allow yourself time. It ended up taking about half an hour. So it's just more an awareness. Because we've done it from here before or the other one. It generally takes about 10 minutes, doesn't it? So just be aware, and the same with the buses as well. We found that both leaving this resort here and also leaving the parks, they have gone to Fort Wilderness sometimes.
First.
Which is fine, but first, like going to Epcot last night, again, took us over half an hour. Not a problem, but just make sure you give yourself that time
if
for
you've
it.
got like a meal reservation
exactly.
or something.
So not saying a negative, but just be aware. Just give yourself that time. Don't think, great, it's going to take us 10 minutes.
Yeah. I was going to talk about major downs and then the nice things, our favourite things.
So major, are you talking about downs?
Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster, wasn't it? It was our first trip coming away on our own. That wasn't the major down.
No.
But the reason for the trip was to spend time with my dad, and I thought it would be really, really nice, and it was really, really nice. But then the problem we had, and I hadn't taken this into consideration, whenever I say goodbye to my dad, I'm on a downer for about a week, aren't I? Just really upset. And
the same kind of happened, didn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't want it to. I just felt so low. I was really emotional, and I'm not an emotional person, am I?
No.
If either of us cries, it's I'm quite hard with a lot of things.
Yes, she is.
But I was just, and I found myself sometimes crying in parks, didn't I? Which is, I don't cry in front of people. Everything just set me off, and I struggled.
It was a real mix of emotions, wasn't it?
Yeah, I struggled to get up and out in the mornings. Didn't want to be places. And I just found it really, really hard to pull myself together. I just felt really, and I suffered so bad with anxiety. I've only just slept through this last night.
Me too as well, actually.
I've just been up constantly all night, you know, when you've just got that anxiety feeling, and it's just really, really, I didn't feel like it when we first went to All Stars. I think we left Dad. I was obviously upset in the car.
You were, I think, excited as well with where we were going, new things. But then
it hit me.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible feeling, and I just kept feeling like, I think it was also, my dad was in the same state
You were only
still.
2 hours away from him.
Yeah, and we purposely did it like that because that's him and his wife's time. When they come away for 2 weeks, that's their time.
Holiday, yeah.
And I didn't want to intrude on the whole of their holiday, so we took half of that. And then I just felt like it was just a horrible feeling for me knowing he was a 2-hour drive away and I wasn't seeing him. So in the end, we did meet up with them, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's like one day he said to me, "Oh, it's fine, I'll see you in June." And that just made me really upset, thinking, "Oh my gosh, you know."
It's June.
Yeah. But then my dad jokes all the time, and then he said, "Unless I die, then you won't." And I know it's a joke, but then that really played on my mind, thinking, you know, he's getting older now. Yeah, that could happen. Do you know what I mean? I know it, chance of it, you know, couldn't, you know, might not, probably won't. It really, really affected me.
On that kind of note, just moving on from that, in regards, I'm not saying that changed our trip vastly, but there was one thing, we didn't actually follow what we actually always say that we do. And I think these last few days, we got ourselves back on track. If you see our planning videos...
Do you know, I think it actually helped when we met up with Dad again. We ended up...
You said that, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple of days before, or the day before they were due to leave to drive back to Indiana, they came and met us. I really needed to see him, so they came and met us at Blue Springs.
We had a lovely time.
Yeah, I felt a lot better after that, didn't I?
Yeah, but just touch on what I was saying beforehand, we've always done things for many times. I think it's your friend Debbie, isn't it, said about splitting a day into 3. And if you watch some of our planning videos, you will see that's the way we will generally do things. Generally do something morning, afternoon and evening. Even it could be rest time, or if you've had a late night the night before, the morning could be your rest time, and it works really well. Works really well when we've been with the kids and the family, to be honest. But this time, I think being on site, we were thinking we should and need to be doing something. So we felt, although we kind of did have some downtime, we didn't kind of, it rolled into each other, didn't it?
I think it also, though, had an effect because I wasn't sleeping. We weren't getting out in the morning, and then I was struggling to get up and out. Yeah, so we weren't leaving, getting into the parks till much later.
And it just then felt like our days were...
And then we were hitting the parks when it was busier.
Parks were busy.
Yeah, but we've got back on track.
But these last few days, we were up and out, and we were sort of in the parks. Not necessarily rope drop, but we were there sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock, and we had some lovely morning in Animal Kingdom, lovely morning Magic Kingdom, and I'm so glad we did that yesterday, was that?
Yeah.
We got there, it was relatively quiet. I don't think we rode anything, did we?
We did People Mover, the
People Mover.
railroad.
Yeah, no, but we didn't do any rides as such.
We didn't do any of the big hitters.
But we stayed
do you know, I've just realised we've done Big Thunder Mountain once.
I know we did. It was in the dark, wasn't it?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
But it kind of like we left around lunchtime, and that was when it was starting to get
really busy.
The foot shuffling.
Yeah.
But we came back. What did we do then?
Went to the pool.
Went to the pool.
It was so nice. Yeah.
We loved it.
we went to Celebration.
Oh, that's it. We went to Celebration first.
Went there for lunch, didn't we?
And then we, pool after that. And then we went over to Epcot for extra hours, didn't we?
Yeah.
Watched Harmonious for the last time, and it worked perfectly. And I would say we got back, just before 11, and we've been out since like 8 o'clock in the morning, but it didn't feel like it.
Because we'd split the day up and rested in the middle.
So I think that's something we've learned, that you don't want to be too regimented, and I'm not saying you have to be particular places at particular times, but that works for us, and we found by just winging it almost, that hasn't worked. You hit the parks when they're busy, and then it just kind of snowballs from there, doesn't it?
I agree with
It then gets to the point where you think, well, what are we going to eat? And then it almost becomes like you're not doing things because you're enjoying them.
Yeah, you're eating because you're really hungry, and or you hit the food places at busy times.
Something we haven't talked about.
What's that?
What would you say your absolute highlight is?
I was just going to say that to you. Apart from being with my dad, obviously, glass kayaks.
Yes, at Silver Springs.
That was my absolute highlight.
I have to agree with that. It was absolutely amazing. It's very close to, for me, St. Augustine.
Yeah.
As in the whole thing, St. Augustine, being able to just walk onto the beach. We're not beach people, but
Loved
that
it.
and the kayaking, for me, the kayaking was amazing.
Yeah, the wildlife that we saw. We're really into our wildlife, aren't we?
Yep.
And just being outside, and it was just perfect. I would do it again 100%.
And I think also it made us realise, don't feel guilty for going off site.
Yes.
When you're at Disney, if you're staying on site, don't feel you have to be in that Disney bubble the whole time.
Like yesterday, driving to Celebration, it took 15 minutes from Wilderness Lodge.
Yep.
Also going to Blue Springs State Park. We met Dad there.
Yeah,
Loved
another
it.
state
We
park.
had an armadillo that walked past us. It was so cute. We saw Mummy Manatee with her baby. It was
we did see
lovely.
a gator, young gator as well.
That's only an hour from Disney.
Yeah, so there's things there. It's nice to explore. I mean, that took, should we say, a morning, didn't it? So
Loved it.
don't feel you have to be tied to that Disney bubble. There's plenty to do.
Yeah. I was also going to say ghost hunting.
Yes, I've forgotten about that. Yeah, ghost hunting. Watch the space for that vlog. We're not too sure what the vlog
we haven't
is.
Looked at the
we
footage
haven't looked
yet.
at the footage, so
we could have some ghosts in the background.
we're not too sure on the footage, but there are some things that we think we might have experienced.
Yeah.
So
we want to do ghost hunting in the UK now, don't we?
Yeah. There were some things that we want to do some more sort of research on things, but we are sure we saw orbs.
Should we buy a K2 meter?
Definitely.
Don't give anything away. We did see orbs, but they're in the video, but we don't give anything away.
No, we didn't see anything.
I had one follow me, didn't I?
We won't talk about the scary person we saw.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Or did we?
You're silly. Right, should we finish this? I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, I think we've kind of covered everything. Generally, it's been a lovely, lovely trip.
We need to learn how to do things just the two of us as well. And by the way, we met up with some friends that we hadn't met in real life before. We've chatted online, Kelly and Dan. That was a highlight for me as well, actually.
Yeah, we were also thinking of trying to meet up with others, some other friends out here, but we...
We met up with Joe, Stuart and Isabella
Yes, yep.
and Caleb, didn't we, on our first day? That was really
nice.
But
we didn't actually manage to, did we? We didn't really other people. But we also thought we just wanted to go with the flow. If things happened, they would. If they didn't, they didn't. But we didn't
really
actually...
pleased we met with Kelly and Dan, though.
Yeah, that was lovely.
I think especially because I'd been feeling quite down, and then we met them and we had such
a lovely evening.
That was a lovely evening,
so thank you.
Really lovely.
Just thinking, that kind of really summarises, doesn't it? I think
It was a roller coaster trip. This one very different to any other trip that we've ever had.
I think another thing for us as well, I know everyone probably gets a little bit, maybe it's a bit of a stressful time before coming away, but both of us are generally working up until the 11th hour before we go. So we are generally
exhausted
tired before we come on holiday, so that doesn't help. Add jet lag, the sleepless nights, the first new nights, the amount of walking, we've walked a lot. But I think by now we're kind of settled in, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
Well, ready to go home. We could do another week though.
just relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching. If there's any questions at all, or anything that you want to know about that we haven't covered, so I think we have covered most things. Again, we've got no notes. Hopefully we haven't hopefully we haven't rambled too much. But it's been a lovely trip. Just sad that we have to go home. We're going to have to check out in about an hour's time. And due to the early flight, we're going to be making our move to the airport soonish, aren't we? So.
Yeah, but we've got lots and lots of vlogs to share with you.
Yes, so they'll be coming up soon.
Yes.
There will be one. Is it going to be coming?
What's that?
Tron.
Ooh, oh yeah, we didn't even add Tron to that. We previewed Tron.
Yes, we rode Tron, so we will actually have a vlog for that.
Yes.
There will be on social media, on Instagram. We haven't done any spoilers, but we will be obviously including.
There's no spoilers, no.
Not on that, they're in Instagram. But will the video have any spoilers? Do you think?
Yes, because we've not the actual ride, but
no.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. So people can choose to
if they want to see it or not. So but we want to get up early as well. We're not going to wait until that happened. So we will be getting that vlog up pretty soon as well.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
So people can see it.
Right, we're going to film a resort tour, aren't we?
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this review. And if you don't subscribe, please subscribe.
Oh, sorry,
and
I hit you
see
with
us.
my ears.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
And that's all right. And see us. See us. We will see you next time. And thanks for watching.
Thank you for following us on Instagram
as well. Yeah, thank you for following
all the lovely messages.
all the lovely messages, the comments and everything whilst we've been here as well. Apologies if we didn't get back to everyone. Obviously, it's we may have missed a few. But thank you so much for that.
And if you came and said hello to us in the parks as well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well. So if we forgot to mention that on anything, so thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.